Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Nadhaya Namaha, Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Today in the satsang, we will talk about the chapter 6 of SriSaisatcharita. Every devotee's heart, if we think as Shirdi, when Baba arrives in this heart of ours, it becomes very important at that time. Without Baba, Shirdi has no significance. In a similar way, without Baba in our heart, we have no significance as a Baba's devotees. In a similar way, if we do not have Baba in our hearts, there is no use calling ourselves as devotees of Baba. In the 6th chapter of SriSaisatcharita, Hemad Pant talks about how Guru's touch and blessing changes our lives. He also gave us some important tidbits to grow in spirituality. On the outside, it looks like this chapter talks about some festivals, celebrations in Shirdi. But in reality, there is so much spiritual significance behind it. And we will try to learn those special, important aspects of this chapter. We worship Baba most of the time, and the devotees experience some kind of bliss. We will try to experience that kind of bliss right now. Let us all close our eyes and let us immerse ourselves in Sai's world. Let's go back to Dwarkamai, and Baba is right there. And we just finished singing the Arati for Baba. After the Arati is done, Baba is sitting on the steps of Dwarkamai, and people are standing in line to get the blessings of Baba. We can see glowing and mesmerizing form of Baba in front of us. Baba is wearing the long white kafani, and there is a scarf on his head. The scarf is tied in such a way that part of it is hanging by the side of his left ear. And there's a glow behind him, and the fire from Dhuni is lighting behind Sai. The back wall in the Dwarkamai is decorated with the garlands. This reminds us the Nirguna aspect of the Sai. As we are thinking this way, we are approaching Sai, and our heart is filled with joy. We are seeing our Guru, and the moment came so that we can get his blessings. As soon as the boon-giving hand, which has the Udi from Dhuni, touches my head, my heart goes into rapture with inner happiness, and my eyes brim with love. Sai is filled in my heart, and there is no such thing as mine anymore. Everything was Sai, and I do not exist anymore. Sai is my Sri Ram. He is my Krishna. He is my Siva. He is the embodiment of all the gods. He is also Nirguna. Let this feeling stay forever. And this is the beautiful portrayal of Hemad Pant. And it shows us the ecstasy of Baba's touch and his presence. This experience, Hemad Pant compares it to ultimate experience of the self-realization. This is a beautiful, a blissful moment that we all can experience. But let's get into the real story of the 6th chapter. There was a circle inspector by name Gopal Rao Gun who had no children came to Baba and was blessed with children. We all read that story. Then, at that time, he thought about celebrating Ursu utsav on the Sri Ramanavami day. And somehow they got the permission from Baba in 1897. At that time, Shirdi had only 2 water wells, and there was no water for the pilgrims who can come to Shirdi during that utsav. So one well had no water, and the other well had only salt water, which is very sour. Baba blessed these, put some flowers in those wells, and the problem was solved. Tatya also got some water from other sources, so there was no problem during the Ursu festival. We all want to celebrate this kind of celebration or festival in the name of Baba, but sometimes we lack that bhakti, we lack that devotion, or if we have some kind of devotion, it is tainted by the Arishad Vargas, that is anger, greed, desire, like that. These qualities are like the salt water in those wells. That's why we have to surrender to Baba with faith and patience. That is Shraddha and Saburi. Then Baba will bless us so that we can become pure. In this story, Damu Anna also joins, and he was responsible for the second flag because he also had children and he was blessed by Baba. And he also became part of this Ursu utsav. Later, Amir Shakkar started Chandan in the evenings. These 2 festivals went on from 1897 to 1911. Then Sri Krishna Jogeshwar Bhishma, who initiated the Sri Ramanavami festival on the same day, along with the other celebrations. Because of Radha Krishna Mai, Shirdi became an organization with all the additional items like a pallaki, horse, bells, and several other items. She also at that time had a cradle. On the day of Sri Ramanavami, she sends this to Dwaraka Mai. People enjoyed the celebration, and in the end, they started throwing this red powder called gulal, and a little bit of that red powder fell in Baba's eyes, and he became very angry and started screaming or yelling. Some people got scared and ran away. The others who know Baba, they stayed back, as they know that he's trying to get rid of some kind of bad luck by being angry. They felt these were Baba's blessings. Satcharita says that whenever there is a new task that is initiated, Baba always blessed like this. Even when they started the repair of the Dwaraka, Baba got hold of Tatya and tried to remove he removed his headscarf and threw it in the Duni. Later on, he calmed down and got a new scarf, and he himself tied it to Tatya's head. We all want to celebrate these important festivals, but sometimes we get carried away and we forget the devotion part of it. The scarf here indicates the ego which Baba wants us to get rid of. He has to throw this in the fire, that is Gnana. Then only we will be in the right path. If we follow his path, he will then take away our headscarf, that is ego, so that we can advance in our spiritual quest. If we have to get rid of our ego, that is ahankara, what do we need to do? And how can we become very close to Baba? These items were well explained in the beginning of this chapter by Baba himself. Let us see what those words were, because they are very useful to reach our goals. We need some kind of dispassion towards the worldly objects, that is, vairagya, is very essential. This might be difficult to follow, but if we have Baba in our lives, nothing seems to be difficult. Let us see now how Hemant Pant compiled these in the beginning of the chapter. These were Baba's words. Baba says like this: those who wholeheartedly worship me and lovingly always serve me, I look after their well-being. He's giving a reassurance here. And he also says that this is his motto. There will never be shortage of food and clothing. Therefore, do not hanker after them. So he's saying that do not run towards those objects. I will take care of your food and shelter. And then he also says, one should seek honor at the door of God and should beg only from God. Ask only for his blessings. Worldly prestige should be left aside. And he questions us, why are you satisfied by the honor given to you by society? And why are you infatuated by that? Rather, seek through intense devotion to move your chosen deity to compassion and to express your joy through copious streams of sattvika bhava. May you find joy in such striving. Let all the faculties be seized with such a devotional urge, so that the passions of the senses may be transformed completely and sprout devotional worship. What desire will then remain? This is so beautifully put by Baba. And he also says, may such devotion be your constant preoccupation, leaving no relish for anything else. May the mind be engaged in constant chanting of my name, and let everything else be forgotten. Then there will be no thought of body, home, and wealth. The heart will be fixed on the infinite happiness. The mind will be balanced and serene, and it will find fulfillment in itself. A contented mind is the surest sign of association with the holy. How can a wandering mind be considered as a being surrendered to God? This is how beautifully Baba explained. And if we remember these words and try to practice in our daily life, definitely we will reach the goal that Baba showed us. Therefore, with full concentration, let us all come with faith and understand what Baba is trying to teach us in SriSaisatcharita. And let us keep this devotion in our minds. And let us keep this devotion in our daily activities. And with this, we will conclude this satsang today of the 6th chapter of SriSaisatcharita. Sri Sadguru Sainath Arpanamastu. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Sri Sainathaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Subham Bhavatu. Om Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai.